All right, we are live. You are about to see one of the best videos you will ever watch on how to become a successful developer, because we're going to be answering your questions directly from the chat, and these are going to be extremely tailored to you because you're going to be the ones asking them. And whether you're watching this live or if you're watching this after it's out, you will learn so much from this stream. You will barely believe it. You'll come out of this, you'll be like, wait, is this knowledge real? How did I even learn that much from one guide, one podcast? So let's get into it, and let's start off with your guys' questions that you're asking in the chat right now. We're going to start with people who were here before I went live, and then we'll just keep going and going and going. All right. You need water. If you're going to do streams like this, you need water. Because on SmartyTalks, we go for hours. Hours and hours and hours every time. And it is definitely something that really helps you to improve your speaking skills to do a podcast like this. I mean, so much so that I made a video on my second channel about this. It's on my channel called Remy Mindset. You can watch that later after this stream. I have the channel link below, I believe. And one of the points in that is start a podcast if you want to get better at speaking, because that's what the video is about. It's about how to be a better speaker. This is some amazing stuff for getting better at speaking. And yes, that's a quick mention there. Definitely make a podcast if you want to get better at this skill. But, oh, the water, how did the water taste, Pinky Boy Dev? 10 out of 10, man. But actually, you know what? The thing is, coffee is 11 out of 10. So, yeah, we got 2 cups of coffee because we're just going to keep going and going and going. I'm so very, actually, am I really sorry for starting this stream late? I would say I'm sorry, but coffee's worth it. So I'm not saying sorry to you guys. I was making coffee for the last 5-10 minutes of waiting there, because I think that the more coffee I drink before I do a SmartyTalks, the better the SmartyTalks ends up being. Because when you drink coffee, you're able to speak faster. You're able to just pull every idea out of your brain all at once. And you're just able to make everything come together perfectly. So this stream's about to be 10 times better just because I have coffee. Is it lagging? I hope not. We had this problem last time we had some lag. I think it's probably nothing. It'll probably go away, but let's see. I'll check on my phone before I answer the first question. This ad goes away. Yeah, it looks fine to me. Yeah, you're right. What's the deal? Yo, Modern Chris. How's it going? I see you in chat. Yeah, it is lagging. I hate this because this keeps happening to me. I even reset my router. Does anyone here know why this could be happening? Anyone here who has streamed before know why it could be lagging like that? Because I want to fix this instantly and get to the stream. Yeah. I hate when this happens, dude. Let me test. I'm going to test my internet speed. Guys, I'll make sure to make this entertaining as we're fixing the lag, because I think we already started this off with high energy. We already started off promising we're going to answer your questions, which I'm going to make sure that we can do that. But now we got to test my internet speed. So let's see, speed test. We'll try to address the root of the problem. So if I go to speed test, my internet is, because this was happening last stream. I just reset my internet, hopefully to make that not happen this time. I don't know if you guys saw last stream, but it was with Jeffrey James. He's a great Roblox YouTuber. We talked for hours about content creation, success secrets. We talked about so much. I recommend you go and listen to that. And I say listen because we had this lag problem. Probably not much watching to do on part 1 at least. But definitely take a listen to that later if you want to learn about content creation success secrets from 2 successful YouTubers, both in the Roblox niche. It was a good conversation. It was fun because I realized recently that Jeffrey James lives near me. I clicked on one of his videos. I was like, oh, wait, look, you're sitting on a bench in a place I have been. So I texted him. I said, yo, do you live near me? Because I knew him before. And then we just went, we hung out, we walked around, talked about content. Then a few weeks later, we did the podcast that we just did that I think some of you here or many of you here may have watched. So good stuff. Network, make connections. You never know what could happen. You might be able to meet one of your YouTuber friends or dev friends in real life. Of course, if you're not old enough, you got to ask a parent if you can meet them. But yeah, it was fun. It's definitely fun to meet a friend who is into the same field, and it's cool doing a stream. So okay, let's test the internet. So the speed is going to be, let's see, what is it? I swear, right now all you see is every 3 seconds I'm drinking a cup of coffee and then it goes away and then the coffee comes back. That's what it looks like right now. We're going to fix this right away though. So let's see what's going on with the internet. It appears that if that is correct, if that's the actual speed that I'm seeing right now, that is why it's lagging. 10 megabits per second, whatever it is, that is really low. So there must be a problem. I'm going to have to hit up my dad and say, yo, or he might even be watching. And maybe we can just call the internet provider and just say, yo, why are you making this so slow? Because it's supposed to be way higher than that. So that's the problem. I just did a speed test and it's 10 megabits per second download, 6 upload. We pay for way more than that. So the internet providers sometimes do that. It's really annoying. But I want you guys to have the best experience possible when you watch SmartyTalks. I don't want you to have to see a laggy screen, so I'm going to do my best to fix this, and if it doesn't work, I guess we'll sit in the SmartyTalks stage and I'll take my face away. I'm so sorry, guys. It might just have to be the solution. I just join up SmartyTalks stage like it used to be, take my face away for now. So I guess bye-bye face cam until that lag is fixed. Or it looks like the lag comes back and it yeah, so someone said it's good now. It comes in and then it goes back. And then it comes in and it goes back and it comes in and it goes back. I hate that. But also it looks like sometimes it's good. It gives us a little bit of hope and then it just goes away. It's like, psych. Taking your freezing away for 3 seconds and then bringing it back. Taking it away for 3 seconds and bringing it back. It's trolling us or something. All right, but we're just gonna put okay, I'm not gonna take the face cam away. I'm just gonna put it in the corner so you guys, it's not your whole screen that looks laggy. And then I'll just be sitting in the SmartyTalks stage. Many of you guys, if you're OGs to SmartyTalks, you'll know what I'm talking about right now, because we used to do the SmartyTalks inside of a Roblox game. I'd be sitting there and I'd be just talking and talking and talking behind my mic here, except I didn't show my face and I was just talking on stage in the SmartyTalks Roblox game stage. So that's what I'm gonna do this time, except my face will be there up in the corner. That'll work. So we'll go ahead with that. I'll text my dad to make sure whether he's watching the stream or not. I'll make sure that he's gonna see if the internet provider can fix that. Can you call the internet? The speed is slow. Really slow. Please. Thanks. He's also making Just Start merch. So my dad actually can design in Photoshop, and he's making us some Just Start merch. It's been highly requested. A lot of people have said, Just Start has become a catchphrase around here on the SmartyRBX channel and community. We want some Just Start merch. So I have good news. We are working on it. My dad, who's probably going to be fixing our internet soon, he'll call them up and we'll get that fixed ASAP. But he's also making us some Just Start merch. It's going to be beautiful. So now we can recognize when somebody is hardworking and in the SmartyRBX community making games or making content. We'll see you. We'll know right away that you are a real one for being in our community. And yeah, we'll know because it'll say Just Start right on the front of your shirt. And it'll be I think it'll be a simple design. I think Just Start, it's 2 words, it's a simple phrase, but we'll do simple style as well to match it, and that'll be good. So there we go. Okay, I found the SmartyTalks stage. It took a second. I'm going to put that up on screen so that we don't have to have a laggy thing is the main thing for now. Who knows? Maybe he'll call the internet and they'll fix it while we're doing this live. But yes, so I'm joining that up now, and then I'll dive into your questions. Everyone, keep asking questions, by the way, in the chat. Continue to ask them. It can be about development. It could really be about anything. Just ask them, and I will get to them once I am fully set up here, which will be in one moment. So again, I apologize for the lagginess and all that. We're working on that, but yeah, won't be a big problem in just a second. You'll just see my character, Smarty, sitting in game, and we'll be chilling. So that'll be good. So let's see. I'm joining up in Roblox. It's taking a second to load. Ruben Plays is an OG. Well, then shout out Ruben Plays because you have been watching SmartyTalks for a long time. In fact, if you've been watching SmartyTalks that long, you probably know a lot. You probably know a lot of cool knowledge because we have discussed so much on this podcast. I cannot believe it. I've gone back to some of the episodes. I've been like, wow, that was really good. And I thought, adding my face is probably going to make it 10 times better. But I think even the podcast before they had my face, they were amazing. There was so much value in it. And when you make content, when you make it the first time, it's oftentimes hard to recognize the value in your own work because you just made it. It's your creation. Like even me, I have quite a bit of subscribers. But even when I put out a video, it's not like I can fully recognize the value like you guys would right away because you guys are the ones who need the information. I'm the one who created it. It's like I already know I know this stuff, but to someone else watching, it's like, whoa, this is incredible. This is exactly what I needed, right? So it's different being in the viewer's shoes versus the creator's shoes. You kind of aren't able to fully see the value in your own work, at least right away. You take a little bit of time away from it. You step away for say a few months, and then you go back to the video you made before. It's like, wow, this is some amazing work. I can't believe that I couldn't see just how good it is when I made it back then. So it's interesting being a content creator. But yes, definitely go check out the second channel if you have time. At some point, you can learn about how to make a podcast like this, and it can help you to improve your communication. Remy Mindset is my second channel. I mentioned that a lot of times if you want to see more content with my face in it. But yeah, it's okay. Roblox is loading up. So we'll have that in just a second. You'll be able to see a perfectly non-laggy stream with maybe a little bit of me in the corner. So how much Robux do I have? Well, I'll be honest, I don't have that much Robux right now because I'm spending it all on projects. So every Robux that has come into my account for a long time, I've just been spending it on projects. If you've watched the channel at all, especially SmartyTalks, if you've watched a lot of videos or some of the SmartyTalks streams, you would know that I am working on projects with my dev partner, Myro. We're making many games. It's taken a little bit to get out, but we're making some really high quality projects. And as you guys all know, that can take a lot of money and a lot of Robux to make those. So yeah, I would say that in total, I've definitely made 7 million plus Robux, probably maybe more if you count USD. But yeah, there you go. There's the answer. How much Robux I have made in total. But right now, not much, because spending it all. It's what happens when you're making all kinds of new projects, paying developers, making things happen. All right. So I promised people who were early to the stream that I would answer their questions first. So let's see who had a question early. So Hi and So 6 asked, what are some things you should not do with growing your game? I'd say the first thing that comes to mind is you should not blow all your Robux at once when you are going to spend it on advertising or marketing or promotion. Many devs, when they make a game, they are really eager to go and spend money on sponsors or pay a YouTuber to play their game, etc. And they end up taking their Robux, all the funds they have, like say 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 Robux, and they throw it all at the game right when they release. This is a major mistake because oftentimes when you first release your game, there's going to be problems from the icon not being so good, to the gameplay not being that engaging, to just bugs in general, things like that. There's going to be problems, and that's going to cause oftentimes your sponsorship money to go to waste. Instead, it's better to test with a small amount of Robux or a small amount of money, say 5,000 Robux, which I believe is around, how much is that? Around $25 or something around there in DevX rates. Spend a very small amount when you first release your project. It is such a mistake to spend it all at once. Now, aside from there being problems when you first release your game, oftentimes that you need to sponsor over multiple days, right? So you can sponsor all at once with 20,000, 30,000 Robux, but if those players aren't coming back, you can consider that really a waste. Because, okay, you spent all that money, but you don't have a consistent player base, right? You're going to have a higher chance of getting into the algorithm if you can keep those players in over several days rather than getting a huge burst of players right when you release your game. So that's what I would say for one of the biggest mistakes people make when they first release a game on Roblox. Definitely do not spend all your money or all your Robux at first when you launch. Now, the next question that he asked us is, what would you tell my friend who has always been procrastinating development for a year, even though they say they're not procrastinating? Also, they really need help with scripting. Okay, so let's answer that procrastination question first. So, I'm not sure if you're saying that they're procrastinating actually getting started in development, or if they're procrastinating making a game or taking commissions, etc. But I would say that, first of all, my answer to procrastination is to just start. You guys already knew this. If you've been on the channel at all, you know that my answer to procrastination, to waiting around, to overthinking is always to just start. But I know that it can be a lot more complex than that at times, right? So I would say just start though first, right? So if you aren't making a game right now, or you aren't taking commissions, or you aren't selling your assets, or you aren't doing something in development, just start doing something. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time, but the only way that you're going to be able to go forward in your career as a developer is if you just get started on something. It can be something random. You could make one building in Roblox Studio if you're a builder. You could make one simple scripting system for maybe an obby, for just some obstacles. You could make one UI panel if you're a UI designer. It doesn't matter, just make something. Get started. right? And then you can turn that into a full project eventually if it's any good. You might be able to start going and into making that into a full project, whether that's maybe turning it into a game or even just a single asset that you sell. Who knows? That creation could lead somewhere. But beyond that, I would say if there's someone who hasn't even learned a skill yet, your friend, who this person asked a question about, their friend has been procrastinating development for a year, what do they need to do? Well, I would also say if they have not chosen a skill and just started to learn yet, I would say choose a skill. So choose anything. And oftentimes for new developers, that skill is just building. Building is a really simple skill to learn compared to all the other skills out there. So I'd recommend that they just look up a studio guide. It could be mine, it could be anyone's, and just get started in Roblox Studio and just start building random things, right? So my answer is always going to come down to just start. And it depends where you're at. If there's somebody who has been in development for a while, who might already have a skill, they should start making a project. But yeah, next question. First question that popped into my head: what are the best things you can do to make a group with group games grow? That's from Roblox. So to make a group with group games grow, it depends. So if you want to grow based on that group, you can consider really focusing on making a community and engaging with them, doing lots of events and group shouts, doing lots of updates, really talking with your players, maybe even running a Discord server. You can do that, but making group games and trying to grow them is really just the same as growing a normal game. So if you aren't looking to really focus on growing a community and you just want to grow your games, it's not any different. Just focus on the game, make the game as good as possible, promote it, and it's going to be just the same as growing a normal game that isn't under a group. That's what I would say to you. Because I think that I personally have experience with running a group and focusing way too much on the group rather than just making a game that's successful. And this ends up being a major mistake if you're someone who wants to become a successful Roblox developer. Because this is not directly correlated to your game in the same way, right? Running your group and focusing really heavily on a group and making all the ranks really fun, doing group shouts every day, making a Discord server on its own doesn't really lead to game growth, doesn't really lead to profits in general, right? Typically, the best approach to grow a group or grow group games, like you asked, is simply to focus on making successful games. And then naturally, your group's going to grow. Naturally, you're going to start building a brand. Naturally, you're going to start to get group members and you're going to start to earn and you're going to start to be able to have funds that you can spend on more stuff. You can advertise. But it all starts when you make a successful game. That should be your focus, not the group in most cases. Now, there are some exceptions, right? Some people are making role-play groups, like army groups. I know you've probably seen those. They are really focused on the group. They're really focused on that community. And if your group is more community-centric and it's really focused on having the group and having ranks and having roles and having all these different things going on, well, then you might want to focus on the group a little bit more. But for most developers, that's not what they're doing. Most developers just want to make successful games, and you shouldn't be focusing on your group to do that. Focus on the games. Make those good. That's what I would say to you for that question. Chef said, do I really make a lot of money if my game goes viral? So that's a good question. It depends, right? It depends what you mean by viral, and it depends on what you mean by making a lot of money. But I would say if you can get a consistent stream of players, even just 20 or 30 or even 50 players, you can make a good amount of money. You don't have to be on the front page to make lots of money on Roblox. I know this firsthand. So in Jimmy Games, which is largely one of the most successful projects I've been involved with, it's a group with meme games, and we have some games called the most weird crude games on Roblox, really. Sussy Imposter Land, Poop Land, these types of games. Many of you guys know about them. These games, they're really simple, kind of weird in a lot of ways, but they blew up. They got millions of visits. They've earned millions of Robux. We have a group with over 128,000 members, maybe more now. I haven't looked in a little bit. But these games, they don't have thousands and thousands of players all the time. I think we've reached that maybe a few times or near that. But a lot of the time they have 30 players to 100 players. And these games still make thousands a month. And that's been that way for a long time. So do you make a lot of money if your game goes viral? Yeah. And viral doesn't necessarily mean front page. Viral can include getting millions of visits. So if you just get a few million visits, or you get some concurrent players, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, you can often earn a lot of money from just what many people would see as a small player base or a medium player base. So yes, you will. Now, if you want to look at the grand scale of things, if you want to look at Roblox as a whole, well, look at the front page. The front page has games that have so many players online. It is unbelievable. Hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions. And these games earn millions of dollars a year, right? But for you, I'll bet that even just earning a few thousand a month from your game would be a large amount for you. If you're a newer developer, or if you aren't a company, usually earning thousands a month from a game is going to be a good amount for most people, and they're going to consider that pretty significant. Most people don't earn money from a Roblox game, and most people don't make money online at all. It's kind of rare. So that's really significant in and of itself. So I would say, yes, you can. Roblox is an amazing way to earn money, and you don't even have to be crazy big. You don't have to be on the front page. That is a misconception. And we've learned that. We've proved that firsthand in Jimmy Games. It was probably one of the most wild and perfect examples of that because of just the nature of the group. It is just memes. It's funny. Jimmy himself, he's a character, but he's also my friend. Actually, he's my cousin and my friend. But he is this bombastic guy on Roblox. He is wild. If you've been on the group and you've seen the way he interacts with the community, or the group shout, or the way that even the way that you see him in game, the things that he says when you go up to an NPC of Jimmy, etc., he is wild, right? It just shows the energy of the group, and it shows that anyone can become successful on Roblox. You come at it with a unique idea, you come at it with the right approach, you come at it and you actually put some work in and make something successful. You can earn Robux from your game. You can get a lot of players on your game. You can do anything you like with really any idea. The sky is the limit. Of course, you got to make it unique, though. I mean, even though our games, in many ways, are they the best games ever made? Maybe not in many ways, but they are unique. And because they're unique, they have been successful. Many people, they make a game, but they don't add anything unique in it, right? Jimmy Games was very unique, very zany, very crazy, very wild, very meme-like, very interesting. And that is a major reason why it got successful, because it catches attention. You can't help but not click on a game called Sussy Imposter Land. You just can't. When you see it the first time, you're like, what even is that? Right? We got attention. We got players in game. We kept them engaged because we made the game engaging as well. We also started to build a community. We kept players coming back too. So not only did it succeed in the short term, it's actually succeeded in the long term as well. What's surprising about this is that many simulators, for example, they succeed in the short term, but then you look at the simulator a year later and it has 0 players, right? Jimmy Games has been different because we built such a strong community. People keep coming back. over and over and over. And it's been like this for years. And lately, I'll be honest, we haven't even made that many updates on Jimmy Games. We haven't made that many updates recently, and players still keep coming back. They keep coming back consistently. Because of the things I was just telling you. It's a good project. It's a really unique case study in development. But yes, it proves that anyone can become successful on Roblox, and you can make a lot of money from it at even a medium size. So that is my answer to Chef's question. So I'm looking at the stream, and it looks like the lag has gone away. I didn't end up getting us into the SmartyTalks place, but it looks like we're doing good. Dude, there's so many questions coming in. I see you guys. But actually, a lot of you guys are just spamming. So I see you guys spamming questions. So don't do that, because each time you post your question multiple times, I'm less likely to answer it. That's the truth. So don't spam. We will get to it, especially if you only send it once. You have a higher chance of getting replied to if you only send it once. Isn't that funny? But I love to see this. You guys are asking so many questions in chat. It shows that you guys are dedicated to improving as developers, to becoming the best you can possibly be, to learning as much as you can. And that is the best thing to see from someone who is looking to grow, looking to go on this journey of development, because you're showing that curiosity. And that can be kind of rare. It shows you have a passion for this field. And I think that most people don't realize just how many really people out there just are not passionate about something, are not focused on some sort of purpose that they want to achieve. And development can be that purpose. It can be something that you go after. I think many people, they're just sitting there scrolling on TikTok or even just playing Roblox games. They aren't really focused on creativity, actually making the things that people see on their screens. And if you're here and if you're looking to learn how to do that, I commend you. That's a rare type of person. And I can't wait to see how much you gain from the stream that you're watching and how you will apply it, especially because if you apply the information you're learning, you can go far. In fact, anyone here can go very far in development, can go very far in anything they want to do. So yeah, let's get to the next question. But remember that, guys, if you're here and you're trying to learn about this and especially if you're actively asking questions, you have a lot of potential. So let's go. Next question I see is, I'm looking for a good question, so keep sending your good questions in here. Ruben Plays said, hi, I need some strategies for making a Roblox city map. Can you help me make a plan to make a city map from scratch? Okay, so let's talk about this. I have made a city map in the past. I've made some smaller ones as well, some smaller maps. This game didn't get released fully, so I can tell you some things that can help you to make sure that you not only plan this, but finish it too. Because I'll be honest, I made some mistakes in that map, and I can tell you exactly what they are, and that'll help you to make a super good city map by avoiding the pitfalls I had. And, I look forward to making some cool maps, city maps coming soon. I would like to remake the one that I made for that project. It was for a roleplay game. It was a really big map, really, really cool map, massive lake, massive terrain, had all these cool buildings. But it had some issues. So I'm going to use that knowledge to help you right now. So making a city map, first of all, of course, when you're making a map, especially a city map, it's a good idea to sketch it out, plan it out on paper or in something like Paint even, or paint.net. Plan out a drawing of the map first. It doesn't even have to be good. It doesn't have to look professional. A lot of us, we think, everything has to be perfect and professional and good looking all the time. No, it doesn't. Especially for a map design that you're making for yourself. You can make it as sloppy as you want as long as you understand it. Now, if you're working with a team, that's different though, okay? So you can make this sloppy if you're working on it by yourself, but if you're working with a team, okay, that's different. Then make it high quality, okay? But for you, you're probably working on this by yourself. It might be a commission or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, plan it out and make it in your style, make it as sloppy as you want, right? We just got to get this done, get it done fast. After you have drawn out a simple layout of your map, start laying out the overall terrain, how that is going to be organized, and decide whether you're going to use Roblox terrain or if you're going to use parts. That's very important. Obviously, that's going to be based on the style you're doing. If you're low poly, you probably will be using parts. But if you're doing something more realistic or medium poly, you might be using Roblox terrain. Okay, it's up to you. But then you want to plan out the terrain. So organize the whole terrain of the map. That's the first step. Then after that, you want to plan out the road structures. So the roads, you want to plan out where these are going to go, where they're going to be. Base it on, it's really important that you base this upon real life cities. So this is something I would say for myself that I learned making this city map in the past. Some of the road structures didn't end up fully how I want. And if I had done more time studying how cities work, how actual roads work, I probably would have been able to make this a lot better. So do that. Don't do what I did and not study it so much and go off the top of your head. Rather, actually study how cities are designed. That's going to help you to make a really good road layout. Okay? There's a lot of people on Roblox who have done some impressive things with roads. I know that there's some driving games out there that have done some cool roads. There's a lot of different ones out there, but I would say I'm not an expert city planner. I'm not someone who plans cities for a living, right? Real life cities. But I'm sure there's videos by people who have planned cities. I'm sure there's videos by people who have done those types of things, who have done roads. They would be really good people to watch and listen to about that topic specifically. I'm someone who's got to learn more about that as well. Learn about how to actually plan a city, structure the roads. But after you have planned that out, after you've started designing the roads, blocking those out in Roblox Studio, next you want to plan out the buildings. So start adding buildings between those roads, right? Add skyscraper here, add small building there. We're still in the blockout phase. Blockout phase is where you use gray boxes, gray blocks to just plan out where everything's going to be, kind of a rough 3D sketch in a way, if you understand what I'm saying. A rough 3D sketch of the buildings that you're going to make in your map. And then from there, after you finish blocking out all the buildings, then you want to start turning that into real buildings. So start building them buildings, start building real roads as well. Start fleshing out the entire map. And go from lower detail, so larger aspects first, like the massive structures in your game, and then start going smaller and smaller and smaller in the details that you focus on, and start focusing on maybe furniture, things like that, where those smaller aspects are placed. Of course, you also want to focus on foliage, so also place foliage around your map, trees, rocks, bushes, that kind of stuff. Put that on your map as well. That's also its own step in the process. So that's how I would make a city map. Now, obviously, there's other builders out there who might have a different idea of how you would do it. As I said, you can do things in your own way, right? You don't have to do everything perfect. What you have to do is just start. So you can start with the process I just laid out to you about how to make a city map, or you can do it your own way, or you can go find someone who's talked about it before on X or on YouTube. How do you make a city map? And you could watch something by a Roblox developer, another Roblox developer or builder, or you could even watch something by a developer on a different platform, such as Unreal Engine. They might have ideas on how to build a city map, and you could apply those insights to Roblox as well. But yeah, so overall though, what I'm saying is that there's lots of ways to do this. Other developers might have a different opinion, right? Generally in development, you can do things however you want. What matters is the end product. As long as the way to get to that end product, as long as the way to get to that destination works for you, it's fine. It's good. Now, of course, as I said earlier with the plan though, it's different if you're working on a team. When you're working on a team, especially if you're working on a team for a company, there might be processes in place that you all want to follow so that everything stays in order, so that everyone understands what everyone else is making. That can be different. But if you're making this map all on your own, you can use whatever process you want, right? Do it your own way and enjoy the process of making that city map. Can't wait to see it. Send it in Smarty Devs. Tweet it at me when you're done. I'd love to see it. And also, you can ask me more questions anytime in a comment. Just say, hey, I was the guy who asked about the city map, and I was wondering about this step in the process. How do you do this on your roads or on your plan, etc.? I'd love to answer that as well. And yeah, I can't wait to see you create that. Whatever your name is, Nick Dev. Okay, there we go. It's spelled weird. Nick Dev said, Smarty, are you working on any project you're hyped about? Yeah, as I said earlier, I'm working with Myro on some games. He's my dev partner. We're working on a lot of different projects. We have been for a while. We have a game called ABR. That one's taken a minute to get out. We were trying to make it as high quality as possible. And yeah, that game has taken a little bit to get out. We're working on that. I'll keep you updated on that. But also, we have some other games that we're working on right now. We have a game that's kind of a shooter game. And we also have another game that's more of a tycoon. We're working on those. Those projects will come out a lot faster. You will see those soon, or at least one of those very, very soon. Can't wait to share it with you. I'm very hyped about this. I think me personally, and if you're wondering why I haven't posted as many videos directly in studio, is this. I really like funding games. I really like managing games. I really like designing games. I like being the person who's overseeing the whole process. And oftentimes lately, I'd rather lead projects than directly be making the builds, directly be making the scripts all the time. I'd rather manage other people, pay other people, because I've earned from projects before. And now I can gain higher leverage by hiring other people to do things, hiring other people to make entire games. And also, these people can often do things better because they can focus on that individual element rather than me doing everything. So yes, if you're wondering why I haven't posted as many directly in studio videos, is because I'm focused on that higher level process right now, mostly in my projects. I'm funding them, I'm managing them, I'm designing them, but mostly all that work is going to other devs. I'm paying other devs on a lot of those projects. And that's where I'm at right now. So I haven't been doing as many of those because of that. I'm focused on those high level processes. So maybe I could teach more about how to fund your own games, how to find developers, how to design your games. That might be something I could discuss soon in the videos. Let's see here. Guys, I'm so happy to see that the stream looks perfect. It doesn't look like it's lagging anymore. It looks clean. It looks great. So I'm excited for you to continue to learn more from this. And let's go to the next question. It is... Let's see. I'm finding a good one. I can't learn to script. Can you do an explanation of how all these things mean in detail? What all these things mean in detail? Okay. The person who asked that, if you want to learn to script, you can watch my video, The Easiest Beginner Guide to Roblox Scripting. It's going to help you to learn all the fundamentals you need to become a scripter. And I think that you'll find it really helpful because if you've had trouble with other methods of learning or other guides, this guide is designed to solve those problems by being the easiest to understand and the simplest explanations and the most motivating video as well. A lot of people have said that. So go ahead and check that out if you want to learn scripting and you haven't seen it yet. But yes, I have other videos that'll teach you about different processes, different methods you can use to learn scripting in other ways as well. If you're having troubles with whatever method that you've tried so far, whether that's tearing apart free models or maybe even watching guides on YouTube, maybe you need a different method, you can watch my videos on scripting where I discuss everything you need to know about that. So go check those out. And I think that you'll love what is discussed there. Next question. I'm scrolling through, I'm finding a good question. Let's see here. Quatabu said, hey, I was wondering on how much budget should be spent on a big game. So big games, he used the example of One Piece, or let's see, or not One Piece. No, sorry, I confused that. Grand Piece Online. As you can see, I don't play that many anime games. Grand Piece Online. So that's a big game. Big games cost a lot. I'll say that up front. Big games cost a lot of money to create because there's so much that goes into them. It's a long development process. I'd say if you're a new developer, you just aren't going to make a big game right now, and that's okay. This is why I teach people to make simple games first. After you make a lot of simple games, you'll have the experience, and you might even have the funding after you monetize those projects to then make more advanced, better games later. But start out with those simple games. That's just fine. But for the actual cost of funding, it can cost hundreds of thousands of Robux to fund a larger project, up to the millions. And oftentimes it is up to the millions, especially for a game like that, something front page level. It's going to be up to thousands of dev content. That's where you make Roblox development content like what you're watching right now. Anyone can teach insights they know in development, like me. Like I'm teaching you about Roblox development, what I know. But hey, if you know anything about development as well, which I guarantee you do if you're watching this stream, you can teach it. You can teach other developers what you know about development and start earning from it, because you can earn from YouTube ads. You can earn from selling more information like courses and ebooks and that kind of stuff to expand what is oftentimes, because the market is less saturated. There's so many people who want to watch this type of content, this development content, but there's really not that many people creating it at a high level. I mean, there's RoBuilder, there's me, there's ByteBlocks, there's RoDev, there's a lot of other people who are pretty big, but they're out of the grand scheme of things, there's not that many. You compare this to other big niches like Roblox tech review niche or to any other niche, there's really not that many people doing it. Is the lag back? It's so annoying. We'll fix that next time. There will be no more lag next time. Hate to see that, but is what it is. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep sharing insights and answering your questions. So, someone said, was there an update to Roblox Studio? I've been following different videos on how to create custom animations, and every time it just makes my character with no walking, running animes. Yeah, I'm not sure about that issue. Definitely look on the dev forum if you're looking for a issue like that that's new, that might have come from a recent Roblox update. They update it all the time, so maybe it's a studio bug. Look on the dev forum. You can just Google dev forum and you might be able to find information on that. So, next. I'm going to answer the next question. I'm scrolling through to find a good one. Battleground Studios said, what do you think about the best type of game to make right now? Whatever game you want to make, right? It's whatever game you want to make. As long as there's something out there that people are playing, whether that's a simulator, role-play game, fighting game, etc., make what you want to make. That's going to be the best game. You're going to have the most fun making it, meaning you're going to be able to make it faster. You're going to enjoy the process more. And it's also going to help you to just start because you know what you like. You know the games that you like to play. So just make one of those. That's what I would say to you. That's the best. It depends on the person. Looking for a good question. Let's see here. There's a lot of people spamming questions, and I'm just skipping right over you. I'll be honest. If you're spamming, I'm just skipping you. Question, is it necessary to spend money to create an A-tier Roblox game? Well, for a lot of the games you see on the front page, it does require money. It requires you to be able to pay a team to make a lot of those super complex, detailed games, right? But not every game that's considered good needs money to create it. Look at Please Donate. Please Donate was made by one guy when it was first created, Hazem. And Hazem, he made that game on his own without any funding. He might have had a little bit of a help from his friends, but he made it on his own. So no, you don't need funding to make a good Roblox game, especially if you make simple games first. As I always discuss on this channel, you will always hear me say, make simple games first, because it's truly the key for new developers. The more simple games you make, the better you're going to be at development, the more experience you'll have. And if you're monetizing well enough, if you're monetizing as you should be, you'll have funding as well to then make those better projects later, those more advanced ones. So there you go. Hi, I'm a beginner VFX artist, and I want to know how to earn money from this. Well, that's a good question. So we talked about some ways to earn from your development skills earlier, and one of those ways is to take commissions. So most people on Roblox who have been on this side of YouTube, dev content, that space, you already know that you can earn money from commissions. You can go on X and you can promote whatever you create, and you can tell people to contact you, and then you can start making money by having people pay you for the work that they have you do. So really just go on X, sign up, start posting your work, tell people, hey, you can DM me to go get a commission, and then start taking orders from people when they start coming in. It will take a lot of work to start getting those orders coming in. You're gonna have to promote yourself a lot, but that's a great way to start earning from your skills. And I have lots of videos about this. Go watch any video on the channel about how to earn from commissions. You'll love to see it. You'll love what you hear there. And yeah, that's how to do that. But also you can make money from selling assets. So you can go on a website like Clearly Dev, which is an asset selling site, and you can sell different VFX packs that you make. This person who asked me the question makes VFX, but you can do this for any skill. You can sell packs of builds, you can sell packs of scripts, right? Go sell your assets, and that's a great way to make money more passively, because you put out an asset once and you continue to make money from it forever. Not the same with commissions. Commissions require you to be at your computer, working, talking with clients. It takes a lot of attention and focus to do that type of work, right? So it's up to you what you do. In fact, it may be a good idea to do both. So that is how you start earning from your development skill. First and foremost, those are the first two methods I'd recommend to someone who wants to jump into it at first and begin earning from what you create on Roblox. Whatever skill that is, whether that's building, scripting, modeling, VFX, GFX, doesn't matter. You can earn from it in one of the ways we discuss on this channel. Go check out the latest video. It'll give you some methods to do exactly that. It's about how to earn from your skills. 4 different methods. We talked about them earlier, but go to that video and the other videos on the channel on this topic to learn about that in depth. So that's my answer to your question. Where do you learn more advanced scripting topics that you can't find easily? Well, one way to learn more advanced scripting topics is to watch a creator who talks about those topics consistently. And there are a lot of creators out there who make videos about very advanced scripting topics, and that's all they make. And I'd recommend that you go find a channel that you like to watch. One that I really like, his name is B. Ricey. He talks about a lot of advanced scripting topics that other people don't cover. And I think that if you're someone who really wants to level up in advanced scripting, you should definitely check that out. I learn things from him. So if I do, you're definitely going to learn a lot from what he talks about on his channel, what he shows people to do, how to do. It is insane. I love his channel. Great stuff. Ruben Plays said, I am so incredibly thankful. Thanks for the awesome tips on your podcast about developing a city map from scratch. Your advice is a game changer. I'm so thankful for the advice. You're my absolute favorite YouTuber on the platform. You are so welcome, Ruben Plays. That means a lot to me to hear that I could help you to make that map. I can't wait to see you create it. It's going to be amazing to see that big, massive creation come out of our community, because I know city maps take a lot of work. I hope that my explanation helps you to figure out that process of how you're going to make it for yourself. It takes a lot of steps. It takes a lot of work to make city maps. It can be a lot harder than other maps. Simulator maps, those are something that most people are pretty familiar with. If you're a builder and you do low poly work, you know how to make a simulator map. Pretty simple. But a city map, that takes work. I know. It can take a long time to create one. So I can't wait to see. I'm glad that you're taking the challenge on head on. I'd love to see what you do when you make that and how the advice helps you to go about that process. So let us know in Smarty Devs. Keep us updated, and keep us updated in the comments. And anytime you see Smarty Talks live, we're live every single Sunday at around 3 p.m. So at Pacific Standard Time, by the way, that's 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Every Sunday we do Smarty Talks live for a long time. So yes, if you'd like to see more episodes like this, go and subscribe. Make sure you have notifications on, and make sure that you check out the Smarty Talk streams. Now we're going to get back to more questions. Hi, and so 6 said, how's the Just Start sign coming? So Just Start sign is something that I want to put back there. That'd be really cool. I haven't made it yet, but I'm finding a way to do that. It'd be really neat. Just see Just Start up there glowing behind me. The glorious sign that everyone needs. Constant reminder to just start. Constant reminder that might be painful if you're someone who procrastinates. You might be sitting there watching Smarty Talks, just be, I'm procrastinating every second I see Just Start behind Smarty. Yeah, right? It's a constant reminder that you got to stop procrastinating and just start. And something about Just Start that most people don't understand is that it applies no matter what stage you're at in your journey. You could be sitting there as a person who's made a lot of games or made a lot of videos on dev content, but if you are sitting there procrastinating and you've kind of fallen off a bit, not putting in as much effort, you got to just start again. Just start can often be a constant process in your career. You gotta enact Just Start whenever you are procrastinating. Enact Just Start whenever you are overthinking. Enact Just Start when you don't know what to do. Just start. It's the answer, right? We all need that reminder sometimes. I do. Everyone does. The biggest developers, the biggest creators, everyone needs a Just Start sometimes, because we all sit there sometimes and just overthink about something when all you got to do is take action, right? Stop thinking about making a game and just start making a game. Stop thinking about making dev content and just start making dev content. That's what you got to do. Just start is the key, the first key to everything that you want to do. That's why we're going to put it on the wall. Next question. What skill makes the most Robux? Easy answer. This is the easiest answer ever. Scripting. If you're talking about commissions, scripting is the most high demand skill that you're going to have out there ever. But if you're talking about actually making your own games, now the highest earning skill is a bit different, because oftentimes the highest earning skill is the highest leverage skill. And that can be the project manager or the game designer, someone who's actually managing the project from a high level. This is why I said earlier, I'm very focused on this right now. Not so much the other things in development, but rather managing projects, designing projects, figuring out how to release them, paying other developers to make those different aspects of my games. And and managing it from a high level, from a bird's eye view. Those skills can often make you more because you don't have to be, getting your hands dirty in the actual directly working on scripting, directly working on building, those kinds of things. You're actually managing the project, you're paying other developers, and you can often get games out faster and with less direct effort on your part that way. And therefore, you can earn more with less time because that's what leverage is, getting a multiplier on your inputs, right? You spend a few minutes talking to your team on Discord each day if you have them well coordinated, and then they do the scripting, they do the UI, they do the modeling, and you just go work on other things, or you sit back, relax while they're doing that. And that's why outside of commissions, I would say project management, game design, those can be the highest paying skills, especially if you're managing, funding your own projects. Next question. Kodabu said, I have been working on game dev for years, and I made many different small games that I publish, but I never sponsor them. I make them to gain some more experience. Is that bad? Well, no, it's not bad, but if your goal is to make money, maybe then it's bad, right? Because at a certain point, especially if you've been doing it for years, if you want to make money, you should start putting monetization in your games at some point. Start adding game passes, start adding developer products, and also start finding ways to market your game better. Make your icon better, make your thumbnail better. Maybe if you don't have money right now to spend on ads and sponsors, do social media marketing, promote it on YouTube. Maybe make a dev channel, start promoting it on there. Maybe do some just videos kind of playing it and then post them on TikTok, right? Start doing things to monetize your projects and do it very quickly, because if you've been doing it for years, and you want to make money, yeah, you should definitely do it ASAP. But it depends on your goals. If you're someone, because there are some people out there, they just say, I just want to make games for fun. I don't actually care about the money. Okay, if that's not me, but if that's you, by all means, feel free to just make games and don't monetize them. Right? That's just fine. But if you're someone who wants to make money, start competing. Start being a competitor. Put monetization in your games. It's a great idea. Excellent idea. And it'll help you to level up more in your development career. Because when you make money and you make ROBUX, you can then use that funding to make your more advanced projects later by paying developers and increasing that leverage, as we just discussed, that you have, and you'll be able to then multiply everything you do. Very exciting stuff. What do you think is the best way to market your game on social media? Because you just mentioned that. It's a good thing to ask. Yeah, I agree. That is a good question. So the best way to market your game on social media, again, this, like many things, this can depend. But usually the best social media to market on is going to be TikTok. TikTok is the place where most people consider it the easiest and the most likely to go viral, right? So start uploading TikToks on your game if you want to do it in the most likely to go viral way, right? TikTok is going to be the best way for people who just want that virality. They want to really grow things fast. Now, there can be other ways. If you want to be more community focused rather than just shooting as many players into your game as fast as possible, okay, we can take a little bit of a different approach. You can make YouTube videos like devlogs on YouTube. You can start a dev channel, become a dev content creator, and then start making videos kind of talking about the process of development. Start making videos kind of posting updates on your game each week, even before it's out. And this way, you can build up a community slowly, maybe even add them into a Discord server, etc. You can make those really dedicated fans. And this community-centric approach can kind of build more of a long-term and sustainable strategy to growing your game and keeping those players in. So there's two approaches. We could call it the viral approach and the community-centric approach. It depends on what you want to do. Many devs out there, especially devs making more kind of complex projects solo, they often do that devlog approach. There's people like Recall and a lot of others who have spent a long time doing devlogs because they were making a very complex project. And it was just the way to go to do that more community-centric approach, making those videos long-term on a dev channel, for example, and nurturing that audience who eventually, the day that you release your game, all are already dedicated players and are just going to be in there playing all the time, right? I think RoBuilder, you could also say, did this. He's done the dream game project for My Bike Life for so long, and now he has all these people lined up ready to play who are really dedicated fans, and it's helped him to launch his game a lot more successfully. Quadabu said, I don't sponsor because I want to save for the big game. Well, I would say, as I said earlier, test small sponsors out first. And that can mean, right? That can also mean test out sponsors on your smaller games, right? I would say don't just wait for your big game to start sponsoring. Because imagine if you make a game that people actually end up liking and you just put a little bit of Robux in, but then it starts to take off, right? That can happen. So I would say sponsor your simple games too. Sponsor your smaller games as well. Because who knows, one of those games could do well. You never know until you give it a shot. So I would say definitely sponsor your smaller, simpler projects as well. But you can just do smaller amounts, right? Try not 5,000 Robux, but maybe 1,000 Robux. That can be a great way to sponsor your projects and get some players in there without spending a killing on it. All right. Alec Boy TV said, Smarty, is it possible that you're just playing with your friends and suddenly your game gets into the algorithm? Well, if you have 20 friends and they're all playing all at once, maybe. If they're playing for a long time and they keep coming back, maybe. Who knows? But if you only have a few friends, it's kind of unlikely, right? Unless the game's super engaging, right? If you have a good game and you're playing it with your friends and people start joining and they stay and they're really engaged, that will signal to the algorithm that this game is good and that they should promote it more. So it could happen if your game is incredibly good, maybe. But I wouldn't hedge all my bets on it. I would try to promote your game in every single way possible. Don't be betting on playing it with your friends, but definitely do that. Play it with your friends. It's a great way to test. And yeah, it's a great way to have a few players in there. Make it so your game doesn't look fully dead before you have any players at all. Definitely play it with friends. Test it with friends. That will help you in the process, but also focus on other ways to promote too. Nubish said Yahoo and donated $2. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. This is really it's really helpful because doing these SmartyTalks streams, it's very motivational to see you guys gaining value from it. And when you do a super chat, that really shows me that this is impactful and you're learning a lot. So thank you. Glad to see that support. So next question. Quadabu said, if using the Roblox sponsor, and for example, I sponsor with 1,000 Robux, well, credits, how should the sponsor be divided into how many days, etc., and which days? Well, that's a good question. It depends. But first things first, let's talk about the elephant in the room. If you have 1,000 Robux only to sponsor, that's not enough to sponsor over multiple days. Ideally, you need to sponsor with a 5,000 Robux a day minimum, of course, in the equivalent amount of credits. You need to spend at least 5,000 or else your sponsor basically goes to waste, in my experience. But just you can just divide it evenly, right? So if you have 5,000 to spend each day for 5 days, that would be 25,000 in total. Spend 5,000 on Monday, 5,000 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You get the point. Okay. Split it up evenly between each day. And you can also, you can run it on the days that you find to be the most effective. Generally, there's going to be more players playing on weekends. So you might want to spend more and focus more on those days than other days because you're going to see more ROI, return on investment, from your efforts. My friend and I had a game that had very few players. We added teleports to it for our newer game, and the new game managed to enter the game in 2 days with peaked 1.3K CCU. Excellent work, bro. That is awesome. 1.3K CCU, W. So you had them teleport to the newer game. Smart strategy. I've seen people do that before. Some good stuff. Keep that going. Is it better to pay someone in Robux to build weapon skins and emotes, or should you do it yourself? Well, again, it depends, right? How much funding do you have right now? If you don't have much funding and you can do it yourself, do it yourself. Put in the work. But if you're somebody who has a lot of funds, who wants to manage projects, be the project manager, and have high leverage, go and outsource it. Go pay someone else to do it. But I know most devs who are watching this probably don't have that level of funding yet to be spending Robux or money on every single role in your development projects. They just don't have it yet. In that case, most stuff should be done by you, and that can be a lot of work on your shoulders. That's why I say make simple games first. Don't try to make your dream games first. Don't try to make advanced complex projects first. Make simple games first. You'll find it a lot easier to make everything yourself if the game is simple, right? So that's my answer to you. It depends on your level of funding and what you're aiming to do. Is it possible to learn scripting, learn VFX, learn animating, and learn modeling all in 2 years? I'm planning on making a super big project in the future. Yes, it's absolutely possible. I think I learned almost near that amount of skills in 2 years. I learned several skills in a very short amount of time. Yes, of course you can. Manage your time well. Work every day with consistency. And you absolutely can learn all those skills in 2 years. That's a relatively long amount of time, and you can definitely learn all of them. Now, I would say it's best to focus on one skill at a time, master that one skill first before you move on to the other ones. You're going to learn a lot faster and more effectively that way. But you can absolutely do it in that time frame. I've seen developers accomplish a lot in short time frames. I've done it myself as well. I've learned a lot of different skills in a year or even a few months sometimes. It is possible. What inspiration and tips can you tell me for beginners? Well, for beginners, as I just said, learn one development skill first. So just start and then pick a skill. Pick anything. It could literally be random. Okay? Pick scripting, pick building, pick modeling, and then just start learning. Okay? And that's what you need to do as a new developer, right? Look up guides on YouTube on how to learn scripting. You could watch mine, watch the easiest beginner guide to Roblox scripting, for example, or watch guides on building. Watch the ultimate guide to Roblox Studio, for example. Or watch a guide on how to learn Blender if you want to do modeling, right? No matter what you want to do, just start learning, find the resources, and work every day to learn that skill as fast and as effectively as you can. That's the first step in development, okay, as a new developer. But after that, it depends what you want to do, right? So most devs at that point, they have skills, right? But they don't have funding to make entire games. That's why I tell people, okay, after you've learned a skill, start monetizing that skill to get funds, right? This is the most pragmatic approach and the most logical approach, right? Okay, if I have skills, but I don't have funds and I need those funds, naturally the solution is to find ways to monetize said skills. So a good way to monetize your skills could be commissions. You could take commissions, go on X, start promoting yourself, and get paid for what you create. Say you make models, you can make models for someone's simulator and earn money from it. Or you can make dev content, like what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a stream. This is a form of dev content. My entire channel is dev content. If you make dev content, you can earn from your skills in a really unique way in a market that is very unsaturated right now. There's not much competition, so there's a lot of opportunity for you to do this. If you're a new developer and you know anything about development, you're qualified to teach other people, right? If you know anything about modeling, you can get on a camera or behind a mic and you can start explaining how to use Blender, the basics to people. Any developer with any level of skill higher than a beginner can make dev content. And I'm excited to see the success stories continue to come out of this community. We've seen quite a few people become fairly big dev content creators in a short period of time. For example, there is Bandicot, Bandicot, for example. I believe that's how you spell his name. You can look that up. He's done very well in dev content. There's also C Dragon. He's also in Scripting Secrets, my course on scripting. And he has thousands of subs and hundreds of thousands of views on, I think, a few of his videos now. Look him up as well. They're examples of success stories in dev content in our community. And another way to earn from your skills is to sell your assets on a site like Clearly Dev, Gumroad, or another place where you can make your own store to sell your creations. You can sell models, you can sell scripting systems, you can sell VFX packs on these sites, and you can put it out once and then continue earning from it forever, assuming that you do the effort to promote it on social media, for example, and actually get it out there. That's another great way to start earning. But then after that, after you have a skill, that's step one. After you step two, start earning from that skill. And then step three is now to start making games. So if you're someone who has not learned scripting at this point, and say you're a builder only, if you don't have the funds or if you don't want to pay a scripter, it's time to learn scripting. Scripting is in many ways the most vital skill in the development process. It determines whether your game comes together into a full finished product, and it depends whether you can even release your game at all. Scripting is seriously the most vital part of the equation in the development process. So that will be the first thing you need to learn if you want to make a game, if you aren't already a scripter. If you already specialize in scripting in step one, well, good. You're lucky because you don't have to do that. You can jump right into making your projects. But yes, from there, the next step is to make games. Make simple games first, build up in complexity and difficulty over time, and one day you could fund better projects. You could make better projects after you have some experience and after you've earned from your more simple games, okay? So that's the process for new developers. Let me know how that helps you in the chat, and my internet. That's what I would say. Should I learn multiple skills or work on one main skill? As I just said to the person asking about how to get started in development, Start with one skill at a time. Focus on one skill first. You'll find it a lot easier to learn. You'll learn a lot faster. You won't be overwhelmed. And you're just going to develop a better understanding when you aren't trying to learn all these different things at once. I'm Skits Chili said, I love your videos, bro. Keep it up. Thank you. Glad you like them. I will continue. I will absolutely continue. If you're enjoying the Smarty Talks, subscribe now with notifications on so that you can see them every single Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's when we do Smarty Talks. Again, every Sunday we're doing them. This has been, so far, episode 16 of Smarty Talks. It's been a great Smarty Talks. I've been loving answering your guys' questions, and yeah, we're going to get to some more right now. So, yo, bro, do you still talk to Jimmy? Bro, I talk to Jimmy all the time because Jimmy, in real life, he's my cousin. Yeah, Jimmy's my cousin. So yeah, I do talk to him all the time. He's kind of focused on some other things right now. He hasn't been directly working on Roblox stuff as much, but yes, I talk to him all the time. Do I remember you? Yes, I remember you, bro. I do remember you. You rap, right? And you were making raps with Jimmy when he did that for a while. Jimmy has a channel called Lil Jimmy, and he makes raps about Roblox. He hasn't done it lately, but he made a diss on Game Fam. I'm not going to say anymore. You can go watch that if you want. Lil Jimmy. If you guys want to see what Jimmy has done in some of his free time. Some interesting projects all around. As I said, Jimmy's an interesting character. He's an interesting person on Roblox and off Roblox. So go watch that. If you want. Crafty Gem, I'm late. What have I missed? You missed everything, bro. I can't believe you're late. Nah. It's all good, man. This has been an incredible Smarty Talks. We've been answering question after question after question after question. This stream, for anyone watching, I think that you could probably tell this stream is not just a stream. This is seriously a free course on development success. We've discussed processes, strategies, and methods to become a successful developer in 2024. And it has been so in-depth, so helpful, and so interesting to a lot of people who've been saying that in chat. They've been saying, yo, this is awesome. One person even said, you're one of my favorite channels on YouTube. Thank you for explaining that. It's like, whoa. Glad you guys are liking it. And yeah, we're going to continue with that.
Guys, I'll make sure to make this.
Your tips are golden, bro. Glad to hear it, man. Thank you for being here. Crafty Gem and everyone else watching. Let's go to the next question. How long have you been in the dev industry? I think I'm nearing on 7 years. 7 years now. Yep. Done lots of stuff. Been in it a long time. I would say one of my favorite things I've ever done is doing what I'm doing right now. Teaching other developers. That's why I tell people to make dev content all the time, because I have a passion for this. Honestly, in many ways, I often feel like I like teaching more than I like actually doing the developing, because it's just so fulfilling to go make a video and then see someone's career and even life be impacted by what you just made. I make a video on how to model, and it's just like, okay, I put that video out, but then a few months down the line, I see someone comment, yo, you started my modeling journey from this, right? And that is just mind-blowing to see how you can post one video and with a few clicks, you can change someone's life with content creation. Insane stuff. We live in a completely new era. So that's why I tell people to make dev content. It's definitely a major passion of mine. And I think that it's definitely one of my favorite things about development right now. And it has been for a long time. I love doing this. I love teaching on Smarty Talks, love teaching on my videos, love teaching on my guides, love teaching in scripting secrets. You can join that by the way, below for more content, especially on scripting. But yeah, that's how long I've been in the dev industry, 7 years. And then I've been doing dev content for basically 4 years now. So next question is, do you know how I could improve to Blender? I'm new to Blender. Got tips? yeah. So here's my tip. It's going to be a video recommendation. Go watch the recent video on how to become a great builder on Roblox. That video is going to teach you the tips and tricks and strategies you need to master modeling and building as well. There's a lot of processes in there that are very essential to making great models and leveling up in your skill set. So I think that if you watch that video, you'll find it very helpful, whether you're a builder or a modeler who's looking to level up in that skill. Next question is, thanks for the help, bro. Oh, wait, no, that's something someone said. Someone said, thanks for the help, bro. I won't forget your words. Very welcome, man. Glad that you're finding a lot of value in this. Can't wait to drop even more. So, you said players play more on weekends, but sponsoring on these days is going to be hard because other competitors are going to be also sponsoring on these days. Aren't there other days to sponsor? Well, that's true. Sponsoring on the weekends is a double-edged sword. Of course, there's going to be more players on the weekends, but there's also going to be more people spending money on the weekends on sponsors because of that, meaning there's more competition. So I would say that spending money on sponsors on the weekends, though, it's still better. In my experience, it has still had a higher ROI than spending money on sponsors on weekdays, even though there's more competition. So I'd say do it anyways. Do both though, weekdays and weekends if you can. But also beyond that, try other marketing methods. Promote your game on social media. Start a dev channel, build a community around your game. Like all these things we have been discussing so far in this stream. And if you do those methods as well, you will have the highest chance possible to make your game successful. Master Lulu said, how much have you made from Roblox games? So I said earlier that basically I made 7 million, but that's how much I've generated for groups like Jimmy Games, for example. That's a group with a team. Me personally, I've made total, like into my account, I made probably 3 million or more Robux. I said the wrong number earlier. I just realized that. I was talking about how much did I earn from, how much did Jimmy Games earn? That one was 7 million, but then how much have I earned in Robux in total? Around 3 million, I believe. Now at this point. Nearing that. Let's see. But I've also made more in USD because obviously what I'm doing right now is a way to earn from development, making dev content. If you count that in, you count in that USD earnings, the real money earnings, could be a lot more. I haven't calculated that all out. But yes, thank you guys for joining us for this Smarty Talks. I'm going to cap it off here. Thank you for staying this long into such a great guide on how to become a successful developer in 2024. This really has been a free course on how to succeed in this field. And I can't wait to see how you apply all the things that you've learned from this video. It has been a journey answering all these different questions. It's been fun. I think this has been really one of the best Smarty Talks yet because you guys got to ask questions based on your needs right now in development. And that is something very powerful because yeah, I can sit here, I can give advice on how to start a dev channel. I can sit here and give advice on how to make a successful game, but if that doesn't match exactly where you are in development right now, it won't be as helpful as it can be when I give you tailored advice. So that's why I'm sure that if you've been here this long, you probably have learned a lot. And I can't wait to see how you apply these insights. I cannot emphasize that enough. The most important thing here is action. You need to take action on what you learn. And if you take action on all the things that you have taken away from this stream, especially the things that you think apply to your situation in development right now the most, you can become very successful. You need action. You also need persistence. You need dedication. You need to be able to stay in this game for a long time, even without seeing results right away, because the best things in life often take time to get. You need some patience. You need to have, what is it? Naval says, he's a billionaire. He talks about these types of topics. He says, urgency in actions, patience in results, which is so true, especially in fields like development. You need to have urgency in your actions. You need to be impatient in your actions. Act now. You need to act as fast as possible. Speed, efficiency, momentum, quick. But in outcomes, in earning Robux, in getting players, in making money, making this into a career for yourself, for example, these things you should have patience for, because you don't necessarily have full control over the outcome, but you have full control over your actions. That's why he has the quote of having impatience in actions, but patience in your results. And I completely agree with that. I'd say definitely follow Naval on X. He has so much wisdom, and you can apply these insights from billionaires, from people who are successful in all these different fields, to Roblox to gain massive benefits and have a competitive advantage other people don't have. Because do you realize that most developers in the Roblox community, they don't know about mindset, they don't know about business, they don't know about these high level ideas. And if you learn them and apply them, dude, you can get so far ahead because you know things other people don't. And knowledge is power. So right here, Naval, right? I'm just gonna pull it up on my feed. Of course, OpenX, lots of political stuff comes up because of the recent events, the recent things going on that may or may not be discussed a lot on this app for some reason. Who knows why? Nah, but Naval, right? Follow Naval. He definitely talks about a lot of things that are applicable to development. I know recently he might have political stuff on there. So if you want to see the unfiltered insights from him without that, go to Navalism. Lots of good wisdom. People like Dan Koh have learned a lot from him. So Dan Koh, he's a guy who talks about content creation and the creator economy and how to succeed in that. And he actually bases a lot of what he talks about on Naval because it applies so much to content creation and online work, and especially leverage. So we talked about leverage in this stream. That's an important principle. Learn more from him. I think that if you apply those insights to development, you'll love it. But yes, SmartyTalks episode 16. I am going to keep going with SmartyTalks for a long time. And I can't wait to see those numbers keep going up. It's going to be exciting. Imagine SmartyTalks episode 50. That'll be an interesting one. What will the title be? Who knows? Guess you'll have to be there.